Hello, everyone. It's Gus from Askewed Reviews. And today I'm going to talk about you and only you because that's all that matters. You're the only thing that matters, at least to me. Nah, I'm just kidding. In actuality, I'm going to be talking about the new horror film that just came to theaters. And the movie that I'm referring to is the 2026 film Obsession, directed and written by Curry Barker. If you're a big fan of horror, it's very likely that you've already been hearing about this film, but if you haven't, trust me, it's definitely one to look into. So let me tell you more about the concept to see if this is one that you want to go check out while it's in theaters. In the film, we meet a group of four friends: Bear, Nikki, Ian, and Sarah. Now, they've all known each other since high school and are, in fact, all co workers at the same music store. Now, even though these four are very close, there are some things that have been kept secret. For instance, Bear has had a huge crush on Nikki for a very long time. He has, however, decided that it's finally time to reveal his feelings, even though his best friend Ian does not necessarily think it's a good idea. On the night that he decides to tell her, he also stops at a curio shop to see if he can find something nice for Nikki. Bear does end up finding something that he thinks Nikki will love, a kind of a gag gift called a One Wish Willow, which is a little stick that supposedly when you break it in half, you can make a wish and it'll come true. So the evening comes to an end, and this is when Bear tries to seize the moment, or at least he would have if he didn't have horrible issues with his confidence. He in fact chickens out and lets Nikki walk back into her home. Sitting and wallowing in his failure, it's at that moment that Bear notices the One Wish Willow. And even though it's done in a bit of a throwaway gesture, he snaps it and wishes that Nikki would love him more than anyone else in the world. This is the moment where everything changes for Bear and Nikki. She comes back to his car, brings up a story of something bad that's going on in her life, and talks him into taking her back to his place. Nikki then reveals that she has feelings for Bear as well, and the two of them, not long after, start dating. This is everything Bear has ever wanted. But the problem is that his feelings have made him blind and ignorant to the fact that what he's getting from Nikki is not love, but obsession. Bear wants to be with Nikki. Nikki needs to be with Bear. And if she doesn't get what she needs, things will take a very dark and terrifying turn. So, the first thing I'll say about this movie is I feel pretty confident that this is going to end up as one of my top 5 favorite horror films of 2026. If you're a fan of horror movies, this is definitely the one to check out this year. It has a great story, some standout performances, it's genuinely creepy and shocking. And when I say creepy, by the way, I don't get creeped out easily from movies. This one managed to do it. And even though it has a classic concept to it, the way that they made this story, it feels new and different. One other thing I wanted to do was to highlight two people connected to this film. First of all, the director and writer Curry Barker. I am so very proud of him, not only because he made a phenomenal movie, but he started off just like me, making online content and is now making his own feature films. Additionally, I don't know how much of a hand Curry had in the lighting, sound, and cinematography, but either himself or whoever he hired, keep them around because they did such a great job with every aspect of this film. The second person I wanted to mention is Indy Navarrete. Mind you, the cast did a great job all around, but she was definitely the standout performance. I don't know how many people would agree with me on this, but I honestly feel like Navarrete should be up for an Oscar due to her performance as Nikki. It really was a haunting, uncomfortable, cringy roller coaster ride of a journey when it came to Nikki's story, but I was in awe the whole time because Navarrete had so much mastery over her physicality, not just because of the way that she moved, but also the way that she would talk or the inflection of her voice, the emotions that she would wear on her face, and of course, the ability for us to really see what was going on behind her eyes, to see the pain and horror that Nikki was actually going through. Also, I was really blown away by her ability to just snap back and forth at a moment's notice between whatever she was becoming and the real Nikki just kind of coming to the surface and then going right back to where she was. But enough of my own obsession with this actress's performance. Let's move on to the final part of my review. So, in my own opinion, I thought this was a great movie with only a few minor issues that I had, where I really just feel like the world and some of the secondary characters, and even some of the main characters, could have done with a little bit more fleshing out, or maybe us having a better understanding of some things, and just a few of these unanswered questions getting answered. But like I said, minor things. So at least for me on my scale, I'm going to give Obsession 4 out of 5 One Wish Willows. But I would like to hear what your opinion on the film was. Also, here's today's question. If the One Wish Willow actually existed, what would be your one wish? I hope you enjoyed my review of Obsession. And if you'd like to check out more Askewed reviews, please like, share, and whatever platform you're watching this on, subscribe or follow.